Welcome back, fellas, to another day in the NBA. It is March 14th, Friday, and we have a pretty juicy slate here for you guys as we have 10 games on in the NBA for today's Friday. Let's hop straight into the slate and waste no time. Starting with Indiana against the 76ers. I'm taking the Pacers every single time. I don't care that they're away. The Sixers team is horrible. They only have Quentin Grimes. The team's in absolute shambles. They are tanking for Cooper Flag. Our next game is going to be the Celtics and Miami. I'm going to take the Celtics at -7.5 here. I understand they're away versus Miami, but they're just simply the better team. Looks like everybody should be playing, so they should have a healthy squadron to go into this game as well. So I'm going to lean the Celtics there to hold it down on this Friday night. And then to our next game, I'm just going to fly through these. Everyone's questionable, by the way, for the Celtics, but everyone's expected to play. So that's why I'm leaning that. But if someone doesn't play, don't be surprised. Andrew Wiggins is in for Miami, but I'm still leaning Boston either way. Then we have the Clippers in Atlanta in a close spread of -3.5. But I am excited for this game. I think it's going to be a pretty good game. With that being said, I'm going to lean Atlanta to cover here at home. +3.5 feels like pretty good odds here. They're a healthy team. Obviously, Trae Young will be playing in this game. The Clippers with Kawhi Leonard is obviously scary, but I think Atlanta's been a really scrappy team recently, and I think they can find a way to get it into a close game here. And I don't think they're going to win, but covering 3 spread feels like a pretty good bet, if anything. And then we're going to go to Sacramento versus my Charlotte Hornets. I think Hornets get it done today. The Hornets are dogs in this game, but I feel all the confidence in the world of them going into San Antonio and being able to win this matchup. +4 feels like great value. LaMelo Ball is playing along with Mark Williams, Miles Bridges, of course, Josh Green holding it down at the 3, along with Daquan Jeffries at the 2. With that being said, with LaMelo and Mark playing, I feel really confident against a Chris Paul-led San Antonio team that has 0 De'Aaron Fox and has no Victor Wembanyama, so it's just Chris Paul out there with Stephon Castle and Devin Vassell. So I'm going to lean my Charlotte Hornets to get that job done. Then we have the Mavs and Timberwolves. I think this matchup, the Magic, did I say the Mavs? Excuse me. The Magic and the Timberwolves. I'm struggling today. The Magic and the Timberwolves have an interesting matchup. I think the Timberwolves get it done here. Why this spread is 10, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe because it's just at home for Minnesota and Orlando's looked really shaky recently. But I don't see a world where Orlando can't get this done to cover the 10.5. It's just such a high line that I'm going to lean Orlando here. I'm not really too worried about anyone not playing in this matchup as well. Should see about full minutes. I understand it's in Minnesota, so maybe that's it. But I'm gonna lean Orlando +10 here to cover the spread. I think Minnesota still wins, but I think they just cover the spread at 10.5. With that being said, I know a lot of people, when I say they're going to cover, everyone's like, oh, so I'm going to place their money line? I'm like, no, that's not really it. It's just 10.5 is such a high line. It could end up easily being a 9-point game, and they lose. But I don't think they win this game, but I think it's definitely closer than 10.5 for sure. The next game we got is Cleveland and Memphis. Probably the best game on for today if you're going to be watching basketball. Cleveland and Memphis, 2 of the powerhouse teams, is a defense versus defensive squad, a pick-and-roll perfection squad versus an ISO squad. It's going to be a very interesting game, to say the least, at Memphis. Cleveland's still favored by 2. Obviously, there is no Donovan Mitchell in this game. I'm going to lean Memphis here to cover +1.5. I think Memphis gets it done at home today. Jaren Jackson Jr. should be playing. He should be back. If he is back, I 100% is slamming Memphis. If he's not back, then I'm probably going to lean closer to Cleveland. I understand Cleveland's like the best team. They're rolling right now on like a crazy win streak, 15 games, whatnot. But Memphis, I think, is able to handle themselves at home pretty well. Along with them having no Donovan Mitchell, feels like that's definitely plays in the favor of Memphis, and their defense has been literally suffocating. Zach Edey's finally getting his feet under him. Jalen Wells has been playing good as well as a complement piece, and Desmond Bane and John Moran are doing their normal things. So I'm going to lean Memphis there to cover -1.5 and to win this game, or +1.5 and to win this game. Then we have the Dallas Mavericks going into Houston. I think Houston wins easy peasy, lemon squeezy, no problem, -11.5. Then we have Toronto and Utah at -2 in favor of Utah. It looks like Scotty Barnes probably isn't playing, but Emmanuel Quickley and RJ Barrett are playing in this one. Obviously, Colin Sexton, Lauri Markkanen, and Wes Walker Kessler are all playing for the Utah Jazz in this one at home. I think I still lean Toronto to cover here, especially if Scotty does play. If Scotty plays, I definitely like them, and I think they'll swing the odds a little bit. But with him out, I can see why they would definitely be favored in Utah's advantage. But with Quickly and RJ both playing, I think Toronto has a really good shot here to come in with the upset and surprise them in an away game here. Then we have Denver minus 14.5 against the Lakers. The Lakers coming off a back-to-back. Denver, I feel like, is just in a kind of a perfect spot here. Everyone's playing. Everyone's healthy. Where Luka might not play. Dorian Finney-Smith might not play. Jackson Hayes might not play. So there's a lot of question marks for the Lakers. There's not any question marks for Denver. I'm going to take Denver here minus 14.5. And then the Kings and Phoenix Suns at minus 2.5 for the Phoenix Suns at home. I'm going to take that for the Suns. The Suns have been playing decent ball as of recently. The Kings might have Sabonis back. Not so sure. He's questionable for today because of his left hamstring strain. So again, not yet specified if he's going to be playing today. If he does play, then I do lean Sacramento. Nah, I still think I lean Phoenix in this one. Nick Richards should be back as well. If Nick Richards play, then I definitely like Phoenix here to cover this spread and to win the ball game at home. Our recap from yesterday is quite simple. We won 2-1. Obviously, Giannis didn't start scoring until the third and fourth quarter, which killed. I mean, he absolutely dominated those quarters. Didn't do anything in the first half. Literally was seeing ghosts out there. Nothing you could really do about that one, but hopefully we can bounce back in a pretty big way here. Well, we don't really need to bounce back. We still had a positive day. We've been positive over the past 3 days, so let's keep building on that 3 days in a row of building. Let's crush it today with our 4 plays we got. Starting with Anthony Edwards, go over 3.5 3-pointers made. You get this on FanDuel for plus money. In the last 10 games this season, the Magic have allowed the 4th most points above the arc. Not only that, but Anis hit over this the last 2 times these teams met. He recorded 11 3-point attempts the last time they played, which is absolutely nuts. And Anis hit over this mark in 63% of games this season, averaging 4.1 3-pointers made per game. 7 of the last 8 shooting guards have gone over on their 3-pointers made mark versus Orlando defense. And in the last 20 games this season, Anis averaging 11 3-pointers made per game, which is more than enough volume to go over this line. I think he's going to see the volume again. I think he's going to have a ton of opportunities to easily crush this mark and to get it at plus money. You love to see that. The next play we're going to have is going to be in Charlotte. Mark Williams go over 15.5 points. You get this at minus 110 on FanDuel. This line is obviously, he should crush it in a perfect matchup. Sacramento, again, Bismack Biyombo versus Mark Williams is pretty much the narrative here. They allow the most points in the paint in the restricted area in the past 10 games this season, which is where 73% of Mark Williams' points come from. Not only that, but San Antonio is allowing the 4th most points to opposing centers in the past 10 games this season. They're allowing 23.89 points per game. As well as 4 of the last 4 centers to face San Antonio have gone over on their lines this season. When playing 24-plus minutes a night, he sit over this line at 55% of games, averaging 18.1 points per game. He should see the minutes. He should see the volume. This should be a no-brainer bet. I'm easily slamming this every single time for Mark Williams in this perfect matchup, especially with LaMelo Ball playing. He normally does better with LaMelo, so I'm definitely leaning that play there. Then we have 2 assist plays. James Harden is going to be our first one to go over 9.5 assists. He's crushed this line over and hit over this in 4 of the last 5 games versus Atlanta in his career. And Harden crushed this line the last time they played, having 15 assists off 23 potential assists. Now Atlanta allows the 5th most points to opposing point guards in the past 10 games this season, as well as the 2nd most points. Or sorry, I said points. I mean assists. And the 2nd most assists in the past 5 games this season. He's also crushed this line in 3 straight games this season, averaging 16 potentials in the past 10 games. As well as Harden's averaging 38 minutes a night in the past 10 games, which is more than enough. And I expect him to see the same volume with the spread only being 4. This game should be close. He should see a high volume. I told you I'm excited to watch this game because I think it's going to be a close game. He should be able to get the job done here on the assist lines. And our last play is going to be Trae Young to go over 10.5 assists. He's hit over this mark in 56% of games this season and now has a perfect matchup against the Clippers, who have the 4th most assists to opposing point guards in the past 20 games. Trae's hit over this line in 7 of the last 10 games this season, averaging 11.7 assists per game. And he's gone over this the last time these 2 teams played, having 14 assists off 28 potential assists, which is obviously way more than enough to crush this line. And 9 of the last 13 point guards have hit over on their assist line versus the Clippers. And in the past 10 games this season, Trae's averaging 20 potential assists per game, which is more than enough volume to be just continuously hitting this. So again, he should see plenty of volume, plenty of minutes in this game, in a close game. You like to take Trae Young and assist in great matchups. Obviously, we've been crushing this line for Trae all season. So now it's time to run it back here again on Friday. So love these spots. Love these 4 plays. Trae Young over 10.5. James Harden over 9.5 assists. Mark Williams over 15.5 points. And Anthony Edwards over 3.5 3-pointers made. Those are the plays of the day. So make sure you lock in. Let me know what you guys are taking in the comments below. And I'll make sure to catch you guys next time. Peace.